Appreciate you, Coach. One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport. Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Chicago Bears.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. 65. What? Squeeze.
This is Cohen. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Go. Hey. Jim.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking.
And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did.
Let's go.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the Bears' 48-yard line.
On the double. Go 50 extra money. Right here. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move right.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Check 24. Check 24. Let's go.
They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Now Joe Mixon. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Got a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, watch it.
Hey, stand up. Ready?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
36. Slam.
Go.
What do you want?
Hey, orbit.
He's coming.
Hey, lock it.
He's coming. Double up.
Hit it.
2nd and 10. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. And his kick is right there. It's good, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here we go.
1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. That's complete to John Ross. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's third down.
Buddy up. 55. Hey, eat. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
That burst good for 20 and a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Jackson to throw again. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 15-yard line. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. This one hauled in by Sample. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
So, my man, I pose this question to you. How do you get to be the number 2 defense against the rush in the NFL?
Be better than number 3, I guess.
Okay, right.
And make plays like that, right?
Well, you know, you're right. At its basic, be better than number 3, but you really nailed it. Make plays like that on a consistent basis.
And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left to the upright. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Man, I got you. Man.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Matchbox lights. Here we go. There. Get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys, good. Backside guys,
Meh.
That's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Switch. Mike's 54.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And it's second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. He's cracked.
Two draw quarters.
Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
Hey, Charlie.
Check 24. Hey, watch Sam. Watch Sam.
Five.
He'll look to throw. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. Mecole Hardman with touchdown number 8 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. You know what coming. You know what coming from. Here we go. Keep going. Hey, eat. You must be drinking.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson going deep downfield for Ross. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
At 25 to the mic. We're going 25.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Flushed out right. And that's complete. It's the tight end Daniels. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Ready? 60 outlaw. You're out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Bears push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw is Jackson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. But now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Jackson now. And he's got his man on the out route. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35, 20, and they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
Point after, right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half.
24. Bengals nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Mixon. The all-pro in two positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Here we go. Here we go.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 2nd down now, Mixon. And he gets it down to the 32. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be from 49 yards out. Fairbairn able to put this one through. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Cameron Johnston now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over.
At their own 19-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more...
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 22-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Just like that. Just like that. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's airing it out for Williams. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Go, go, go. 25.
Yes, yes. 25. Hey, Zoo.
54.
Step.
He'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they run with Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Jackson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Eddie Goldman in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Escaping the pressure right. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Jackson now. Going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bilal Nichols, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now, standing just about on his own goal line. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Hey, Haywood.
Hey, watch out. Check Mike 54.
Leo.
You're not ready. Check 13.
Shit.
They'll look to throw here. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Hey, it's all right.
X3. 218. Chopper.
Fresno.
Hey, exit.
Check safety. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Shoot.
Back to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Bengals drive about to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Motion.
Here's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll start with a give to Cohen. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Ready.
Mike 57.
Hey, lock it.
Get in the weight room.
Go.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 1.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. He's airing it out for touchdown, Chicago! Tyrell Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as the Bears push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Once again, they run with Mixon. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. On 3rd down, Jackson. He finds his running back, Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati 1st down.
And the Bengals 1st down.
This quarterback now 6 of 17 throwing the ball, only 35%. But he does have a 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Hunt. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
54, Mike, 54. Watch the backer, watch the backer.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
On the double. 50, Mike 50. Mike 50. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Set, hut. 56 yards. 54, Mike. Let's go, D. 61. Next box. Mike. It's going to be a long day.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction.
Let's go, defense. Go, go. Defense. Here we go. Mike, 55.
From the gun, Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Mills. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Here we go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill, and he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Chicago, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.